without further ado, let's dive into this one. Hi everybody, it's Gringo Scott. Today we will be reviewing the movie The Grand Seduction. It's a 2013 movie. My wife was there, we were watching, she said, "Do you want to watch this movie?" And I thought, you know what? At this point in time, since I'm doing a video a day for 30-day challenge, I'm into reviewing anything. I said, hey, why not? I like the actors, and why the heck not? So I went ahead and decided to do this movie. If you want to see the other videos in this playlist, please feel free to check them out at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's check this movie out. The Seduction, 2013 movie. About a New Zealand fishing community that I guess can't fish anymore. They're super impoverished, and they're looking for any type of industry to help them grow and give them jobs. But in order to do that, they need to have a doctor in the village. So they attempt to charm a big city doctor to come into the village to stay for good. And then they can have a factory there, and then they can work in the factory, etc., etc., etc. So he's the key proponent to this, and they have to charm him. So the movie, basically, there's a guy that is, it's the guy off of Battleship, that movie with the action packed, is the main character there. He is a doctor. He gets caught with some drugs, some cocaine on him at the airport, and in exchange, I guess the guy that works at the airport lives in this town and says, hey, you can make it up, we won't turn you in for that if you come and spend a month here in this town. So it's them trying to charm him. It's said it's a comedy on Prime, but I'd say it's more lighthearted comedy, maybe. Like, it's life, but then there's funny things about life. I feel like sometimes these movie streaming services say something's comedy when you're like, that is not comedy at all. Like, what is your definition of comedy? They're like, oh, comedy, crazy kids. Meaning this one. This one has actually a really interesting, deeper meaning. You have to be who you are. If you're not who you are, eventually people will notice. You will notice. You won't be passionate. You can't keep up your fake persona forever. Being someone that someone else wants you to be. You got to be you. You really do. In the past, when I dated women, back in my dating years, I remember trying to put on a persona that I wasn't. Soon, at some point, learned it's like you have to be yourself, because you can't exist at this high-functioning, perfect person level, and that's also not you. It's not true. Eventually, you find out you're not compatible, or you weren't honest about things, and it comes up. One thing that's important, someone says, if you're into some girl and she says, I want to have children, but you're like, I ain't into having children, but I'm into her, so I'll say, yeah, me too, baby. I'm into having children too. And if the relationship does continue, at some point, that could break it. It really could. Yeah, of course, you have to work on yourself to make yourself, likable or whatever. There's things you have to do with that, but you can be a version of you of that, of someone who's attractive or is likable, and someone will want to date you. And really, it's just practice makes perfect on it. You have to date, and assume, just like every other creative thing or anything else that you do, you're creating a relationship with someone, just like you're creating a book, or just like you're creating a YouTube channel, like in my case. The first 10 women you date, or first 10 men you date, most of the time ain't going to be the ones that hit the ball, make it win, So be willing to accept the change, be willing to end it if it doesn't work. My overall opinion on this movie. So, my wife, Carolyn, she said, hey, do you want to watch the trailer for this movie first? And I said, nah, I don't want to watch the trailer. Because sometimes I just like to go into a movie not knowing anything about it, because I always hope it's one of those movies where it starts off as a rom-com, and then suddenly there's aliens invading, and it ruins the whole rom-com story because it's such a larger issue. So I said, no, I don't want to know about the movie. And then that caused me, because the movie, I don't know if it was the accents at first, or I was in a blah mood, or what, but the first 20 minutes, I was like, what the heck is going on, dude? I didn't know what was going on. I was so confused. I was like, we're just switching characters, and they're talking a lot. I didn't get it at all. I was like, pick a character and follow them around. So I did not like that at all. The other thing I did mention this before is that it's called a comedy, but I really just wouldn't call it a comedy. There's some funny situations and stuff, but it's kind of like depressing, and it's a struggle, and it's got sadness. It's kind of a drama with some comedy in it. But isn't life kind of have a comedy? I mean, I'd say most people's life, you could say it's a comedy if you're going to have that kind of standard where there's some funny things that happen. They're good. Beautiful scenery. Really beautiful scenery of, I assume, New Zealand fishing town or something. Really beautiful. Really did a good job at capturing, maybe, I felt like it was a culture, an old culture of fishing people, and how they haven't tried to adjust to modern times. It was neat. It was really cool to see that. I like the guy, Taylor Kitsch, that plays Dr. Lewis. He was in that movie Battleship, which is totally just action-packed, stupid movie, but I love it. I've seen it like 5 times now, I think. I keep watching it. I know it's cheesy, but I just love it. He's in that. He's like the main hero in that movie, and so he plays in this, and he's a good actor. I enjoy him. Also has Mad-Eye Moody, that actor, in here, and that was cool. It took me a little while. I was like, wait a minute, he looks familiar. That's Mad-Eye Moody from Harry Potter. Huh. The actors actually do a really good job. They really, really do a good job in this movie. They're very good actors. But I guess overall, I enjoyed the movie. It could have been better for sure. It was a bit draggy at the beginning. So I'm going to give this movie, The Grand Seduction, a 5.5 out of 10. 5.5 out of 10.
Peace! Yeah, we...